Hey, legal besties. My name is Allison.
And I'm Michaela.
And welcome back to Ladies in Law podcast, where we talk about the intricacies of being female attorneys in a heavily male-dominated field. And we also are, for this season, are talking about leaning into your softness and how to continue being authentically you. So for part 2 of today's episode, we have Karine. Can you say your last name?
Karadjian.
Sorry.
Not Kardashian.
So for those of you who missed part 1, please check that out. Karine is here to continue chatting with us about her journey as a solo practitioner. She practices various types of law. And in part 1, we went over the different aspects of her journey becoming a solo practitioner and how she redefines success. For today's episode, we are going to be covering how she uses her social media platforms to continue to uplift women and just grow her brand. So, Karine, you have 2 very successful social media, I guess, handles. Is that what we call them?
That's the right word.
I think that's what we call them. So we have Law and Stilettos, and then you have the Debt Fairy, which literally is so creative. I'm obsessed.
Thank you.
How did you start using social media? Like, did someone tell you, like, you need to go on social media? Did you just kind of like...
Yeah, so believe it or not, I'm not a social media person, or was not. What? I was not, yeah. Until I opened my own firm, and then the guy I was using to do SEO back then was like, you need a personal Facebook in order to run your business Facebook page or something like that. So he literally opened it for me. And so I was a lot more active on Facebook in the beginning. I didn't have Instagram until like 2020 or 2021. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of my those people that have now become good friends, Christina Molian, for example, like Yvette Ovsepin, like all those people, I met them on Facebook, like through these LA attorney groups, like, and all of that stuff. And then I would be like, hey, do you want to meet for lunch? And then most people we would click with. Every now and then you would have lunch with somebody, you wouldn't click, you would never see each other again. But for the most part, I built really good friendships with people. And then we started forming like bigger and bigger groups, and eventually I opened Instagram and I got a lot more active on Instagram and just on videos. I think back then there were no reels yet. It was just like iPhone videos when COVID hit, because there was so much misinformation about bankruptcy. There were a lot of like vultures trying to get people to file, and I wanted to spread the message and kind of calm down the panic a little bit. And so I kind of just got out of my comfort zone and started recording a video. I never like pre-record my stuff. Like I don't practice scripts or anything. I just turn it on, whatever comes to mind.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I say it. And so I'm like, I don't care how it looks or whatever.
Unfiltered.
Like I'm getting out the message. And that's how that started kind of spreading. And then as our relationships with the women in law grew stronger and bigger, then I one day said, like, let's just do Law and Stilettos.
How did you come up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. My love for shoes. I don't know. A lot of people would always comment on my shoes when I would go places, because I would always be wearing like colorful shoes. And then I just did the connection with the law. And so my friend Karima used to do a podcast, I think Gen Y Lawyer or something. And I was always telling her, let's do a Law and Stilettos podcast. And then we got too lazy to do all of this.
It's a lot of work.
But you know, when Clubhouse became a thing for like a short amount of time, it was kind of like party line, right? But online. So we started doing that. And then that's how Law and Stilettos grew.
Yeah.
And then Tina joined me, and she has her own following that was big. And so then we just created a separate handle for Law and Stilettos.
I love it, because that's how I met you.
Yeah.
I just, it popped up on my feed one day and I was like, ooh, this is so catchy. Like, how cute. And
I think you literally texted me and you were like, I just found this cute page.
Yeah. and then we ended up going to like a Disneyland event. And I think that was the first time I had met a couple of the members. And it was so much fun and like not law related at all. I mean, I think naturally you start talking about what you do, but it just felt like women just getting together and like, it was just a lot of fun. So I love it. I think the idea behind it is it's very like uplifting. Yeah. Because I do think there's like something very special when you do get a group of women that all are struggling in the law. Yeah. And just from different practice areas. Like some people have their own firms, some people work for other people. And so it's just a very like big group of girls, and I love it.
I think that's what I like about Law and Stilettos is because so many of the things, like let's say CALA, right? It's just like plaintiff attorneys or personal injury, maybe employment. There's a little bit of med mal, where with us it's like everything.
Yeah.
So people refer, like people aren't going to these events just for purposes of getting referrals or something. A lot of them build genuine friendships, or they collaborate in cases or ask each other for advice or samples. But inevitably it leads to a lot of referrals. And that works great because somebody's doing criminal defense, somebody's doing dependency, someone's doing PI. So I think it works out for everyone's benefit.
And Michaela and I talk about this a lot, but I think from our perspective, you know, networking it's essential for business, right? But like it can also feel a little like ungenuine or just like uncomfortable and awkward. Like, here, please give me cases. And so I think just like you said, naturally creating these relationships and friendships. And then, you know, now you know someone that does X, Y, and Z law that now potentially a client's coming to you and you're like, I don't do that, but I know someone. So I think it's so cool.
That's why I did it, because I was invited to a couple of those like really structured kind of networking things where you had to like show up at 7:30 a.m. There's a conference table, right? And like
Speed
some
date.
bagels. And then, it totally felt like speed dating. And then you gotta bring in some friends and meet some quotas. And I was like, what is this? Like, it feels so fake, right? And I don't want to have to refer someone just because they're part of this group. I want to refer to someone because I like the work that they do, or I get good feedback. So I decided, like, let's just do something less formal. And then people can, so for example, like I get a bankruptcy case that like I can't take on, or I don't want to take on. I have like 3-4 other people that do it, right? And I'll know based on whoever calls me, like, hey, you have a personality that's going to match with this person, you know, or with this person. I'm not just going to give you like a name just because they're part of my network.
I love that. I think it's like when it comes to like networking type events, like there is something very transactional about it. And I don't think it's like natural to go into conversations like, what can I get from this person?
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's so much like, I just like, we like building connections and just being like human beings with each other. Like our profession is attorneys, but like we're so much more than being just an attorney. So can you kind of talk to like, what does the Law and Stilettos like group, like what have you done to get it to this point, to like get people to be a part of it that like also share the same like values and morals and things where like what you've built it to? I mean, you guys went to Disneyland, which is amazing, like cool events where it's not just like conference room.
Yeah. So none of our events have been conference room or anything like that. We do smaller ones. So when I first started out, it was COVID. So we couldn't even do anything big. So it was like groups of 6, groups of 8, groups of 6, groups of 8. And I would just have sign-up sheets on our Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Facebook group. And so it would be like West Side, Valley, you know, OC. And people would just sign up. And then you would see that like out of this group of 6, like so-and-so become good friends. And, you know, so-and-so become good friends. And it just took it from there. And then when the conditions allowed, then we did like a big one. We do a big one for OC and then a big one for LA. I try to do at least one each year. Falling behind this year because of the baby, but hoping to have one in May, I hope. Let's see. But so, you know, it's fun because it's like a brunch or a dinner and there's drinks and people are just having good food. People haven't seen each other for a while. They're catching up. And it's nice. It's zero pressure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like
I didn't know anyone. I just showed up and I was like,
they're nice
everyone,
group.
like everyone was super sweet. I loved it. And I think just creating like spaces, sometimes having like more intimate, like, you know, like a lunch or something that's a little bit more intimate feels less scary, especially when you're newer to the industry. And, you know, like if you're a new lawyer going to a big conference that has hundreds and hundreds of people, like you just feel so lonely.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, who do I talk to? Who do I hang out with?
Oh yeah, and it's hard also to show up to events alone.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh,
I
yeah.
very
I don't
rarely
do
do
it.
it. Like I get like I have a buddy, you know.
Same.
So it speaks volumes to be able to go someplace alone and like leave not feeling left out or not a part of the group and just like leaving like you feel like you have friends, like
They're
new
not
friends.
cliquey. That's what I love. Is they're not cliquey. They're very everyone there is very open and welcoming.
So are you still, so you run the Lawn Stilettos page and, you do events for that. Are you still, like, you're very active on the Dep Fairy page.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're like, how do you like maintain and stay on top of the social media? Because I sometimes feel like that in itself is like a full-time job.
It is. But I kind of, again, I just go with the flow. Like I don't plan out content. I don't have like calendars or times that I do it. So a lot of times, like the last few months when I was nap trapped, would be like, right, I would be on Instagram venting or talking about something. I haven't recorded any new reels in a while. But I just, whenever I have the time, or let's say I got off a consult and I hear something that, like, it's a question that comes up a lot, I'll be like, let me just do a quick video or a quick story about this before I forget, so that people know, like, hey, don't quit claim your house to your spouse before filing for bankruptcy, or something like that. So just whenever it comes to me is when I do it.
So is your focus more educational, like debunking like misconceived notions about bankruptcy, things like that?
I think it's a lot more. Yeah, that's my goal anyways, to educate the public, to educate the typical consumer. And because I hate being salesy, like you're never going to hear me be like, give me a call, please. Like, and I always tell people, like, don't only talk to me, talk to a few other people, get a second and third opinion. I might be a lot more risk averse than another attorney, or I might have missed something that they're going to pick up. They might give you a better price than me. You might click better with somebody. So I just want you to know what your rights are, so you're not misled. And then you make that decision on what you want to do next.
I think that's so refreshing.
Oh my God, I
respect that
know.
so much.
Well, like as a consumer, it's nice to like hear that, because you do kind of start feeling like, oh, the first attorney you talk to sometimes are like, they're very pushy for you to like sign that retainer. Out of curiosity, does bankruptcy work on contingency?
No. They're flat fees.
Okay.
They're pretty low. They're like around $2,000 or so. And you have to be paid in upfront because we can't be creditors in our client's case once we file.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
The more you know.
I know. No, I know nothing about bankruptcy other than the videos you post.
I know.
And you're forbidden from giving referral fees or getting them on bankruptcy.
Interesting.
Wow.
Not that
I guess
it
that
would be
makes
much
sense.
on a 2K case, but yeah.
Interesting though. That's like, it's just a completely different world.
Yeah.
In terms of, now that you are a mother, do you see like Lawn Stilettos kind of growing into like that aspect? Or because you're so like open and like you just post, like, I feel like your content is very like, this is who I am. I'm an open book. And you have like, just like you kind of have created like this now additional segment of people, I'm sure followers that like resonate with the motherhood side of it.
Yeah.
Do you see like Lawn Stilettos kind of growing into that at all?
I haven't thought about it, to be honest. I don't know. Eventually there will probably be something that's child related. But I don't know if it's going to be law related.
Yeah.
Maybe just his eating adventures or something. I don't know. Or cooking. We used to cook a lot before he was born, and then we kind of took a break, or there's no time. But I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. Lots of like avenues to explore.
Oh yeah. And I think that's like the fun part of just like life, is that it really is just a journey of ebb and flows. And it's like, we can try, and if it's working, it's working. And if not, it's not. But it's like also nice to just have like a group of women that like understand intrinsically what you are going through and what your life looks like. Where you can just kind of have that candid conversation of like, I didn't sleep because we're sleep training, or I didn't this, where you just, someone gets it, like I feel like that would be really just refreshing and like validating.
Oh yeah, and you never get it until you're in it. And I'm now profusely apologizing to all my girlfriends for mothers, and I'm like, I don't think I was there for you nearly enough. I never understood how difficult this all was, and what an emotional roller coaster it is. And
Or you are there, but just not in the way that they like need you to be.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when my friends had kids, I would like show up, but like I didn't know like the proper things. Like, you don't show up unannounced, or you don't show up to someone's house for 8 hours. Oops. But I think that it is like, you just kind of, once you're in it, you're like, okay, now I get it. Oops.
Yeah. How have the groups that you have curated helped you in being a female attorney? Like, do you feel like you guys really like share your woes and stories, or just like, this person talked to me this way and it really made me feel this kind of way? Like, am I reading too much into it? Like, how do you feel like this group of women that like you have around you have like supported you, and how do you work to support them also through the journey of being a female attorney?
I think I've been lucky enough that everyone I've come across has been super supportive, super authentic. And it used to be sharing story when I was a younger attorney, let's say, it used to be sharing stories of, right, like I got confused as like the debtor in one of my cases, or the secretary or the interpreter or whatever. And now it's more like, hey, I have this kind of case. What do you think about this? What's your opinion about this? And so we have a lot of that, especially when I entered into personal injury. I had a lot of my friends walk my hands through like my first couple of cases, and that was invaluable advice. And then I always try to pay it forward if anybody needs bankruptcy, law assistance especially. And then I have a lot of people who will kind of pick my brain on mediations, like, hey, I have a mediation upcoming. What do you think? What numbers should I propose, or how realistic is this? And we try to pay it forward and try to be there for each other. It's been good.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing, because it's like, we don't have to be competitive.
Oh, no.
You know, where like we don't have to be adversarial. We don't have to see the other person as like someone who's in our way. It's like, no, like we all benefit from just like helping and being there, because like the way that you support others, like you deserve that in turn too.
And like one thing I really love about your page is you always post about, you know, like this person's doing this, or like my friend really got this amazing settlement, and like you're always uplifting different people in the community. It's not just like, you know, it's not just a page about like, these are the services. These are the services I provide. Like you're constantly reposting content, and it's such a small act, but it can make a big difference, because like maybe someone's on your Instagram that needs that specific type of attorney. So I think that's huge, and I love that. It's great.
I think something that we also really like to talk about is who we are outside of the law. Because like while our professions are attorneys, we're also human beings, you know, that don't just do law. And I think sometimes it can be hard to like untangle all of that. But can you kind of just walk us through like who you are outside of the law?
So if I'm being totally honest, in the past few months, you kind of lose some of your individual identity a little bit when you enter motherhood, because it leaves so little time to do what you usually do. So right now, mainly my days are filled with, you know, entertaining my baby or keeping him happy. But outside of that, when I do have time, I like to read. I don't like to exercise, but I like to hike, just because I like pretty places. I like pretty places. I really enjoy good food, good coffee. That's like a thing I like to do with my friends. And whenever I can get close to a beach, I think that's always relaxing. And I think we do, I don't know, at least I don't take full advantage of being in LA and being like 40 minutes away from a beach, but I hope to change that.
There's always time.
Yeah.
What kind of books do you like?
I know.
So I like fiction. I like anything. I really don't like self-help kind of stuff. I don't know. I stay away from that.
Like I want a mental escape, not like how I can.
Yeah.
Michaela and I are obsessed with murder books.
Yes. Like true crime is like our thing right now. We've been
I like
swapping
to unwind with some blood.
Yeah, I'm listening to like true crime documentaries and podcasts. We cannot thank you enough, truly, for taking the time to be here, for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us, and just for the work that you are doing to uplift women's voices and help this profession be better. So thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to your future episodes.
Yes, and we can't wait for the next Lawn Stilettos event.
Yes.
Hopefully I can still attend. I might be postpartum, but
You might be.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to stay tuned. We release episodes every other week and wherever you get your podcasts.
Bye.